All right, Coach, you're coming off a heck of a season, 25 wins. That's the second most for a UT women's program in the last decade. But I know you wanted more. The team had the wristbands made at the beginning of the year that said 196, 196 miles to Dallas, where the Final Four is, which I know you wanted to get to. Looking back at it now, how do you view this past season?
It's interesting that you mentioned that it's the second most wins in a decade, and because it doesn't feel that way. I think our expectations have gotten to the point where they're pretty high, and falling short of a goal, I mean, it makes you feel like you didn't accomplish a lot, and I know that we did, and we had opportunities to win the Big 12. Um, put ourselves in a position to get to the Sweet 16. I think the disappointment and maybe the hindsight that you look at was the games that we fell short toward the end of the season caused us to be in a situation where seeding was really tough. I thought our second round game was a reflection of how we lost maybe a tier in our seeding. And those are things that you want to learn from. I mean, you want to put yourself in the best position you can, matchup wise, time of the game, all those sorts of things. You really want to try to work towards the entire season. And then once again, our goal is first and foremost to win the Big 12, and we fell short of that. So a lot accomplished, but a lot to do.
When you look at that final game and the tournament run in general in the NCAA tournament, led against Stanford in that finale at the half, led in the third quarter, what did you make of the postseason run in general and that last game for your team?
I actually thought that we regrouped pretty good from the last stretch of Big 12 play. I did think that we looked a little, I don't know, either mentally or physically fatigued, had lost a little bit of the pop in our step at the end of season. I did think we got it back. I was very pleased with how we played in the first two rounds. And again, we ran into a really tough opponent against North Carolina State that didn't surprise me that game happened the way it did, because they were seeded incorrectly, first of all. And watching film on them and following them the whole year, I knew that was going to be really tough. And, our team really rose to the challenge, and it was a phenomenal game on our home court in front of our fans, and something that I think was really a positive thing to leave our fans with. And then going to Lexington for the Sweet 16 was, I think, a very difficult challenge for our young team.
Just being on the road in that environment?
No, I think playing Stanford. I think that, again, we have young team, very first time for a lot of those kids to the Sweet 16, and I wouldn't say that we didn't prepare well. I really actually thought that we prepared well, but I think that we ran into a team, first of all, that was playing really good basketball, that had a bunch of seniors that had a real, I think, purpose for what they were doing, a real hunger to not let their season end. And I think that when you look at it, even when I go back and look at that game on film, they just made the plays that we fell short of. And when I say that, literally, they were quicker to the ball late in the game, little things, setting better screens, getting through screens better. And those are things that I think at the end of the year, you have to have this sense of urgency that you're going to do those little things so that your season doesn't end. And Stanford had that.
You mentioned the youth, Joyner Holmes, Big 12 Freshman of the Year. How much did she progress from the beginning of her college career to the end of the season?
I think all of our freshmen stay on that freshman roller coaster most of the year, and it happens. Joyner got a lot of opportunity, and with opportunity becomes, responsibility, all of those things, expectations, and that happened with her because of that opportunity that she had with that position being wide open. She got a chance to be exposed really in front of the whole world. And there were times that she was really terrific, and there were times that we all would reflect back and go, she's just a freshman. And she handled it really well. I thought she had a remarkable freshman season, to be quite honest with you, and I think that she has put herself in conversation to be one of the most special players that ever played here if she stays on track. And when I say that, I still say that the other two freshmen have the opportunity to make that, a very similar type of impact. Their journey was a little different.
And you have two incoming freshmen who are two of the top high school players in the nation, McDonald's All-Americans, Rella Booth and Chastity Patterson. What do they bring to the table as you look ahead to next season?
Well, Rella is a different type of talent. She has size, strength. uncanny shooting ability really for her body type. So I think she'll bring another dynamic to that stretch four position that we're looking to enhance. I think Joyner will become a different type player next year too. But Rella has some very unique qualities. She's a terrific rebounder, which I think anybody that knows me knows I love kids that can rebound. But she can score the ball. So I think her challenge is it will be a transition challenge for her. Conditioning, playing at the speed that our level is played at it'll be a change for her, and it'll be something that'll take I think a little bit of time for her to get used to, but she's ready. She knows it. It's not anything that she's in denial about. She understands that this is a different level. Chastity Patterson will bring something that I think we desperately need, which is another shooter.
Yeah.
She just won the three-point contest in the McDonald's game, that experience that they had over the week of the McDonald's week, and that's real. I mean, she didn't just make those shots by accident. That kid can really shoot the ball, and she will add a different dynamic to our team. Again, she can combo it a little bit and play the point position, which will allow me to move Shug, Brooke, and Chastity kind of around like chess pieces, and I'm looking forward to that.
To say, you feel good about where this program is headed.
I do, absolutely. A lot of players gained a whole lot of experience on a really big stage, and they'll be more prepared. I'm expecting them to be more driven and hungrier than we ever could have possibly been this year, if that's possible. And I'm really expecting big things from this team.
All right, thanks, Coach. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.